Everybody, I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is Amit Paley, CEO of the Malnutrition Advocacy Fund and special advisor to the Eleanor Crook Foundation. Amit, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we dive into this conversation, can you first talk about what each organization that you're involved in does? What does the Eleanor Crook Foundation do, as well as the Malnutrition Advocacy Fund?
I'm happy to. And first of all, thank you for not just having me here, but really highlighting what we view as an incredible global injustice that we think more people need to be paying attention to. So the Malnutrition Advocacy Fund is the largest advocacy organization focused on preventing children from starving to death. And the Eleanor Crook Foundation, which is a completely separate organization, is the largest U.S. philanthropy that is focusing on creating a world where children no longer die of hunger.
To your point, ending childhood hunger is a cause that you would think everyone could get behind. In your opinion, in your work, have you seen that this is a bipartisan issue, that no matter the political stripe, across the political spectrum, people are working together on this?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. And I also think maybe just to help ground people on why this is so important. I mean, you say children dying of hunger, and it might connote issues, photos from decades ago. I think a lot of people think this is a problem that has been solved in an age of prosperity like we live in today. But I want to make sure that people understand 3 million children a year die of hunger. That's one child every 11 seconds. That means multiple children have died of hunger since we began this conversation. That is obviously an incredible moral injustice. But what makes it even more unjust and more unconscionable is that we actually have a simple solution to prevent those children from dying of hunger. And we can talk more about that, but that's really what we want to get people behind across all political beliefs, not just in the public sector, but also in the private sector, to understand this is actually one of the few global injustices that is truly solvable, as in we can solve it right now. And so that's what we're trying to do to really spread this message and build those public-private partnerships and span those political divides.
And I think, to your point, I mean, people see pictures from decades ago, and you would think that this is a problem that would be solved by now because everyone wants a solution here for it. You're saying there is a solution right now that could solve this problem. Why is it not solved? Why are still multiple children dying of hunger since you and I started this conversation?
Yeah, and just to explain what this is a relatively worn version, but this is ready-to-use therapeutic food, which is also sometimes called RUTF, Life Pack, or Plumpy Nut. And this product, it's a peanut-based paste. And if you give this to a child who is on the brink of death from hunger, it is over 90% effective at preventing them from dying. And so to your question, this is such a simple solution. That packet costs less than 30 cents to make. Why are those children still dying? I mean, there are a number of reasons, but I think at its heart is that we haven't had enough focus as a global community. We haven't had enough focus in the United States from the government and from the private sector to really say this is a solvable problem and we need to put the resources into ending it. We estimate that in order to create a world where children no longer die of hunger, we need to get this product, this simple product, which that product happens to be made in the United States. It's a American-made product benefiting the American economy. That product, if we can put $1.7 billion behind it, which is a tiny, tiny fraction of the US economy and is less than Americans spend annually on pet grooming, if we can get that $1.7 billion, we actually will no longer have children dying of hunger anywhere in the world.